Hi, and welcome to bdtv. Today I'm talking to Lee Salisbury, who is the Senior Brand Manager at NIVEA for Suncare. Hi Lee.
Hi, how are you?
Very well, thank you. I hope you're well too.
I'm good, thanks for having me.
Good, yes, lovely to have you here. Lee, how long has NIVEA been associated with Suncare?
Well, we first launched a sun-specific sub-brand back in 1970 in Europe, and in terms of Australia, we actually launched in 2004. And I was actually having a look at some figures yesterday and saw that we've been the global #1 for at least the last decade. Beyond that, I actually couldn't find any data there, but yeah, so we know what we're talking about as far as Suncare, that's for sure.
Lee, NIVEA has a renowned reputation for really good quality skincare. How does this actually translate into the Suncare range?
Well, actually, it's a perfect fit there because the core value of NIVEA is actually care. So what better way to demonstrate care than while the skin's in the sun? So not only are we looking to really protect the skin with our UV filters, but it is our philosophy that we must take care of the skin's condition while it's in the sun as well too. So all of our sunscreens actually have moisturisers in them, and we also have vitamin E in many of our sunscreens as well too. As you know, vitamin E is actually a free radical scavenger, so it helps to prevent long-term sun damage. And the other thing with our products as well is we will never compromise our formulations by putting in cheaper ingredients or something that will compromise that quality of skincare for the skin as well.
So NIVEA takes quite a holistic approach to skincare and protection.
It does,
yeah. Great. Now, NIVEA, the home of NIVEA is in Hamburg in Germany. But I understand that your latest product in the Suncare range, Ultra Beach, was actually developed here. How did that come about?
Yes, it is actually. Well, yes, our R&D is actually in Hamburg, and so our R&D scientists there help us to develop our formulations. But Ultra Beach Protect, yes, was certainly born from Australia. In fact, it was born from a consumer insights workshop that we did a couple of years ago, and Hamburg are very supportive of us in that way. As a global brand, we really understand that in different regions we have very different sunscreen needs. So, for example, the Europeans, it's all about the holidays. They really just want to go and get a tan. They really don't care to get much more than a toe in the water. So water resistance is not something that's important to them. Latin America, they just want a tan, so they love their oils, anything that will make their tan deeper. Then of course Asia, you have they're very adverse to having a tan. They actually really love to be as pale as they can, and they just really want high protection, but because of their humidity over there, they also want products that are going to be very light in texture.
Oh, right, of course, yeah.
And imagine Australia, of course, is very different again too. So most people live on the coastline in Australia and New Zealand for that matter, and so we have our lifestyle, outdoors and at the beach. So it's not just about holidays for us. And in fact, the beach was really something we saw as an opportunity locally. Not only are you exposed to these really high UV rays that we get being so close to the equator compared to Europe, but you're also getting those additional UV reflection from the water and from the sand as well. In fact, just sitting on the beach on a towel, you're not only exposed because you're wearing a bikini, you're getting more exposure because that reflection off the sand is actually giving you 25% extra in rays. So yeah, we were able to really pitch this concept to Hamburg, and they were more than happy for us to have this formulation for ourselves. So yeah, they've been great in that respect, and as you would imagine, it's really important for NIVEA as a global brand to have success in Australia, because this is really our toughest market in terms of sun care.
Oh, that's really interesting, and I guess we have got the harshest sun, so
yeah,
we're a really good test case for any good sunscreen.
Yeah, so yes, in that regard, this really is, I guess, our first truly unique Australian concept.
And the name Ultra Beach, was that inspired by the Consumer Insight Report?
Yes, it was actually. There is a really big consumer insight around beach being king, so if if you are good enough for the beach, then you are good enough for all of their sun care occasions. So consumers tend to buy products with just pretty much one sunscreen per year. So they will pick their highest usage occasion, and then all occasions sort of filter down from that. So they don't really mind wearing a beach sunscreen just to read the paper on the weekend while they're sitting outside. So,
right.
Yeah. So it was definitely born from an insight for sure.
Lee, you mentioned that the beach is the ultimate test for a good sunscreen because you've got the reflections from the sand and the water as well as the sun beating down. So what are the standout features of Ultra Beach?
Well, Ultra Beach is definitely one of our strongest performing sunscreens. We have the combination of filters that gives you some good protection in terms of UVA and UVB protection. We have moisturisers in there that's going to help prevent that dry and tight skin feeling that you get when you're exposed to the sun and salt water. True to our philosophy, we also have the vitamin E in there as well too to prevent against the long-term damage. And of course we also have a very good balance of the physical filters, which will allow you to really have that grey time in and out of the water for up to 4 hours. And if you don't have long water resistance, then you really don't have a beach product. So that was the number one.
Yeah, absolutely. So it really does sound like Ultra Beach covers everything, actually. So in those terms, who is the target market for Ultra Beach?
Well, actually, we first were wanting to attract males to the NIVEA brand with Ultra Beach Protect because they really do want to go to the strongest protection. But of course, it's really suitable for anyone who loves spending time at the beach. And certainly in terms of our communication, we thought we really must be talking to females because men just think that that's your responsibility, don't they? So when you're down there, they won't put it on until you tell them to put it on, and they won't top it up as well. So yeah, so basically anyone that likes spending time at the beach.
So Lee, would you recommend using Ultra Beach, for instance, on a daily basis to wear under your makeup, or is there another NIVEA Sun Care product that you think might be a better product for every day? Yes.
Yes, I do. If you're wearing it, wanting to wear a sunscreen every day under your makeup, do you really need water resistance? And the answer is no, you really don't need that. So I would recommend something like our Light Feel Daily Face Belt, which is an amazing product under makeup. It's only been in the market for about 2 years, and already it's a bit of a cult favourite. It is so light. The moment that you put it on your skin, it just disappears. So it makes an excellent makeup primer, and because it's got your SPF 30, it's giving you almost as good protection as what Ultra Beach is, but you actually don't need something as strong as Ultra Beach. So.
Sure. Thanks so much for that. It's great to get some insights into the development of Ultra Beach, and it really does sound like an amazing product, so I actually can't wait to try that out on the beach. But I have got one last question that's slightly more personal. It's I have to admit that I actually don't always use a sunscreen under my makeup, in spite of your recommendation today. And one of the reasons is that I've read some reports that Australians can suffer from a lack of vitamin D because we are applying so much sunscreen all the time. Is that something that you are aware of, or that you have concerns about, or it'd be lovely to get your insight into that actually.
Okay, well, I'm not entirely surprised, I guess, that you may find that you're having a little vitamin D deficiency when you say that you're actually avoiding the sun. And quite often people who have fair skin will actually just express abstinence, and they'll just stay indoors rather than going outside. But it is much better for you to actually go out and wear sunscreen and get your 30 minutes a week to actually allow your body to synthesise its own vitamin D rather than just staying away from it. So I think it's well known what will happen if you don't use sunscreen and you're in the sun, and the side effects of that are actually quite common. Side effects of wearing too much sunscreen and having a vitamin D deficiency, it's fairly rare, I would expect. So as long as you're getting at least I think about 20 to 30 minutes during summer and 30 to 40 minutes during winter, that's actually enough for the body to get vitamin D. And geez, that's just a walk in the park, really, isn't it? So if you're supposed to be doing 3 30-minute walks a day, then by all means do that. Do it outdoors, and you're getting your vitamin D. So,
and I guess if you miss those burning hours between 10 and 3 a.m., it's probably not too risky.
But I would never advocate going outside and not wearing sunscreen, but everything in moderation, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, thank you so much once again, Lee. It's been really, really nice having you here.
Okay, thanks for having me.